Hello everybody, welcome back to Bull Street. One for the weekend. We'll be with you very, very soon. But before we record that, we've got Flav here.
It's all over, innit?
He's wearing his hat indoors.
It's all over.
Dog's chewed.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What have I got here? Was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer found out yesterday against PSG? Sam from the highly successful...
Crushed.
Well, wait, let me introduce you first. Sam from the highly
Flav
successful
back.
United People's TV is here. In place of the tree, which we'll go back in.
What's
in
he
a
on?
second.
Some say upgrade.
90k.
Some say
90K.
downgrade.
Mate, incredible.
No, I'm not saying that, Sam. Let's talk about the PSG game then,
Some of you might.
just for a bit. Because
Yeah,
I
shall we?
reckon I've watched a lot of sort of post-match stuff on it, and obviously seen the highlights and all the goals and all that stuff. I feel like a lot of them, if you're not a ex-Man United player, they're ready to jump on this, as in like, all right, look, it's not, Solskjaer, look, he's had a great start, but it's not as easy as that. And then all the Man United guys are just still sucking off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But in that game, I watched the game.
Yeah.
PSG tore you a new one.
Second half they did.
That's true.
Yeah, but they're really good and they spent loads of money.
But they had a lot of players out, and the feeling going into the game was that Man United were probably favourites for it.
No.
When you've won 11...
No.
What do you mean?
United were
At
not
home-
favourites in this game.
At home, a lot of people were expecting you to do a lot more than you did in that game.
There was a different sort of expectation going into it because we had won 10 out of our last 11 games and we hadn't lost under Solskjaer. That gave fans a little in, because when PSG draw happened, it was like, oh God.
Yeah.
We're going to get
Pumped,
pumped.
yeah.
Both games, absolutely pumped. I'm not looking forward to it. But just the fact that he won changed the expectation so that fans went, oh, look, Neymar's out, Cavani's out. Tell you what, we could do it. And we could have. And in the first half, I felt that cheers, Flav. Flav's back. There you go, phone's on. But no, in that first half, United and PSG basically set up to cancel each other out. Marquinhos was sat man-marking Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
They weren't really trying to get Mbappe in behind. Their passes were going off. They weren't really at the races. But then United, Lingard and Martial both went off injured. That wasn't in the game plan. And unfortunately for Solskjaer, with those two going off the pitch, his game plan went with it. PSG switched it up in the second half.
This
We
is
had
where
no
it's
answer.
tested. This is the test.
Yeah, from now on.
This is
the real test.
But no, to stay on the
Cheers,
game for a second, don't you think that with the great players that Man United have, especially in an attacking sense, that you should have created more in a home game, especially when it's Solskjaer who... The idea is that he's come back and he's gone, look, let's play the Man United way, let's attack teams. You got totally outthought by Tuchel with the midfield that he put in there. And it was way too much for Man United, and Solskjaer wasn't able to change it. I get Martial and Lingard get taken off, but the players that you bring on aren't rubbish.
It wasn't to do with the fact that we weren't playing the United way, under Solskjaer. It was just the fact that PSG were so much better. They Thiago Silva and Kimpembe were outstanding at centre back. Dani Alves, the typical little dick he is, was just good. And then Di Maria got thrashed into the hoardings in the first half, and then bopped up with 2 assists in the second half. You can't question the quality when it was there. And Mbappe is untouchable.
He is frightening.
He is probably untouchable.
Frightening. I was reading this thing about this NFL journalist was saying that speed is the last excitement of sport because there's so much coaching involved now. And I think that is the case when it comes to Mbappe. He's like, when you see it, there was a few times he was making a run in the first half. I think it was Ashley Young didn't even need to look around and see that he was there. He could feel that he was there.
Yeah.
And the panic in Ashley Young, he was just like sticking his arm out trying to stop him. Second half, he had a chance we should have scored actually, Mbappe. But
Yeah,
his pace is frightening. Alexis Sanchez has been getting a lot of heat.
He's shit.
What's happened there?
I have no idea what's happened there.
He was shipped for a year at Arsenal, and in the end, his form fell off.
After the game, Solskjaer actually said, I can't help Sanchez
Yeah,
anymore.
saw that.
He goes, it's up to him. And it's complete. Look, he's a supreme athlete. He's one of the most in-shape players at United. Yet he can't run as hard and as fast as Lingard and Martial. That's not to do with anything apart from his own desire and what he wants to do.
You don't think like some people saying, "Oh, look, his legs are gone."
No
I
way,
remember
man.
Hugh Izzy saying it
No
as he signed for Man United. He's like, "I'm pleased he's gone." His
Of course,
legs are
Arsenal
gone.
fans will say that too.
Yeah, I get it, but since then Sanchez has been very, very poor a lot of the
But
time.
the vast majority of the time he's played.
Really?
vast majority of the time he's played under Mourinho, so that sort of is enough to destroy anybody's kind of love for the game because of just the kind of man he is. And it might take him time to get in, but you can't afford to just sort of abandon him. No one's going to pick him up on his wages, so you've got to make it work.
No.
What do you mean? No.
No, we'll sell him.
So you get rid?
Send Sanchez to Juventus. I think he'd be absolutely superb. He's good enough to play clearly somewhere else, but he doesn't want to play in the style that Solskjaer wants to.
We saw him at United.
He played brilliantly against Arsenal the other week.
I know,
but we saw him at Arsenal. He is unpredictable, and his mentality is an issue. Has been for many years. He's not showing a willingness to play for United at this stage.
I think it was certainly kind of one of his lowest points for Man United. I just don't get it. But I'm not one that believes that you just lose your legs and just like disappear, especially when he's not that old. So I think you're right. There is an element of it that is a mental side of it. But then even that, when you think of Alexis Sanchez and the career that he's had, he has been the main man at Arsenal and maybe less so at Barcelona. But the pressure of being at a club like Barcelona, you've got to have mental strength about you. I don't think I just find it really strange that is part of it as well that, Solskjaer's come in and he's gone like, Rashford, you're the guy, Martial, you're the guy. And so he's struggling with that from a confidence point of view.
Hasn't really stopped Lukaku having an influence from the bench. Sanchez, for me, he's walked into the perfect situations. He's United's highest earner. It's his last major contract as a player because he's at that sort of age where he's not going to get like a 4 or 5 year deal after this. He's just comfortable, and he's completely comfortable, and he's lost that desire to make himself a better player. When Solskjaer came in, Lingard got better, Martial got better, Rashford got better, Pogba got better, tons of players got better. Sanchez, stayed the exact same.
Do you reckon that's what it's about? He's just sitting there just thinking, I can't really be bothered. I don't have to. And I've had a long career. I played for Barcelona. I won stuff at Arsenal. Now, just think, I'll phone it in.
I think he's a bit lost in terms of where he is in that squad, and both Mourinho and Solskjaer have not gone, you're the guy. I'll put you in a central area instead of on the left. I'm not sure he's as good as he was on the left. I think he's a good alternative to Rashford sometimes through the middle.
Yeah, me too.
And I think maybe he needs to figure it out in his own mind. Okay, right, if I want to be at a big club with a lot of attacking options, then I'm going to have to just deal with the fact that I'm not going to play every single game. I don't know. But he was awful yesterday. Last thing I want to talk about, well, it's two things kind of. So Phil McNulty said this, I thought it was really interesting. United have been allowed to fall into such disrepair on the back of flawed managerial choices, instability and a badly structured transfer policy overseen by Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward that they can no longer take their place at Europe's top table. So he's saying that that game yesterday was several years in the making. Would you agree with that?
Every United fan knows the problems that we've had at the club. We've gone from Moyes to Van Gaal to Mourinho to Solskjaer now. But I'm just going to bang the same drum that every single United fan has been banging for a good few years. And it's when we signed £52 million Fred in the summer, where's he? He's not even getting a sniff in. And we were getting absolutely overrun in midfield yesterday. Surely that's a perfect game to use Fred.
Because one fucking game of football. That game wasn't 4 years in the making. It was a fairly decent first half and a poor second half. It wasn't 4 years in the making. Next year, so if they play PSG next year or Juve and knock them out, that one was 12 months in the making?
Yeah.
Bollocks, nonsense, usual media bollocks.
It's not media bollocks. That's the situation that it is at United. It's not Solskjaer's
that game wasn't 4 years in the making, was it?
It's a culmination of 4 years of work in different directions.
It's 90 minutes of football. It's nonsense. Sorry, mate.
I think he's got a point because I think there's an element of look, Ashley Young should not be playing for that team anymore. Lindelof has been much better recently, but is he really? Is he your? Is he the centre backs that PSG have got? The young attacking players. Someone like Verratti ran the game yesterday. Where is the Verratti in that Man United team?
It's not. PSG have spent £200 million on one player.
I get that, but Man United are a huge football club. Should be doing the same thing.
They shouldn't be doing the same thing. Why should they be doing the same thing as PSG?
It's not the same thing, but it's identifying players who are going to be world class.
Yeah, but we have been.
Man United should be smart enough to do that.
We've been spending hundreds of millions as well, Flav. We've just been spending it wrong.
Yeah, right. That's fine. So what you're actually saying is your sporting director, or
we don't have a sporting director now. You're going into the problems that exist at the club because it's
but
not the manager.
Spurs, but no one says anything about that.
You don't buy anybody.
See, and we're fine. See, none of it makes any sense.
All right. Okay, interesting. Well, let us know. Go on, we'll leave it on that then. Let us know, was the result yesterday several years in the making, or is Phil McNulty being a little bit over the top?
Just a bit. I think you've won 11 games and you've lost to one of the best teams in Europe. It's not the end of the world. Man United will qualify for the Champions League, and everything's going to be fine again for you next season.
I love it. Isn't that nice?
I wasn't expecting that in any way, shape or form.
Right, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to Ball Street, subscribe to UnitedPeoplesTV, although you probably already have because he's flying at the moment.
Of course.
And subscribe to me.
Subscribe to you. And make sure you check out the One for the Weekend podcast, which will be out tomorrow. See you now.